Welcome to the Offshore Club's fun-filled, fact-filled, fast-paced blockbuster podcast, Coffee with Carib Carter, coming to you exclusively from where the sun never sets on the good life at a great price. And now, fill up your favorite coffee mug and join your expert and your guide, Carib Carter Clues.
Welcome to episode 48 of Coffee with Carib Carter. And once again, we're going to do this thing, all right? And today we have an incredible show for you. Incredible, fun-packed, fact-packed show for you. Interview with Charlotte Tweed. Every other week we get to talk to Charlotte. I know you like her because I get your emails about her, and she is fantastic. As you know, she's in Mexico now. So we'll be talking about what's going on in Mexico and why you should be joining her there, where, by the way, it's about 90 degrees warmer down there where she is than where I am talking to you right now in York, Pennsylvania, where it is freezing. And thank God I'm inside. And I wish I were in Mexico with Charlotte. So we'll be talking to her today. We're also going today to do our once a month show where I answer your questions and respond to your comments. Okay, that's going to be the bulk of the program today because I know you enjoy that, where I'm just going to, I go through my emails. I picked out five of them. And I'm just going to comment on them. You're to answer the questions in them. I've picked some that are representative of the kinds, I get my inbox is full of hundreds of emails from you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your communications with me. Help guide your offshore club. Okay. So I'm just going to answer your questions, respond to your comments straight from the shoulder, let you know what I think as someone who's been in the offshore business for a long time now and was in politics for a long time before that. Because some of it will hit a little bit on that, but I think you're going to find it pretty fascinating. We also have our $1,000 listing Caribbean. You're going to like this one a lot. I'm taking you to Ecuador, to the Pacific coast of Ecuador for a home that you are absolutely going to love in a locale to die for at a price you're just not going to believe. Okay. So that's going to be coming up in our $1,000 listing. And of course, the Motivation Minute is one that means a lot to me because I pulled a clip from Joe Rogan. A lot of you like Joe. I know I do. Tough guy, brave guy. Really inspires us, to live our own life, which is what the Offshore Club is all about. You living your own life in the sun, sand, and surf, rather than up here where I am right now in the sleet, snow, and rain, and ice, and everything else. I sent out a letter, yesterday, I think, promising you all who are already members and get my weekly emails, like giving you a guarantee that next year this time I'm going to be at my place in La Ceiba Beach Club in Honduras. So see how hoarse I am right now. It's because of winter. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want you to do it either. It's important. I don't want you to do it either. Get down there to the good life at a great price. So we have a great show today. And we're going to start off. Let's start off with three of your letters. Okay. Let's start off with three of your letters. Let me shuffle things around here because I'm going to start off with three of the questions, comments I get and answer those. Then we're going to talk to Charlotte. And I cut the interview a little early and she has great stuff to say about what life is really like when you make your move offshore. We talk about expats, those already living offshore, nexpats. Some of you haven't made your move yet, but are going to. So you're going to like that interview. But first, let me and again, this is straight off. You're going to see, I typed up from the questions I got, I put them down on paper, and I'm just going to talk to you straight from the shoulder, straight from the heart, okay, in answering these queries. So let me take the first one, all right? Let me take the first one. Now, Carib Carter, you keep talking about what you call residential resort communities and they point out that sometimes I talk about, some of them like La Ceiba Beach Club, where my wife and I bought our home. Sometimes Grand Pacifica, a Mike Cobb community in Nicaragua. And so they ask me, what's the difference? And why you buy your home at La Ceiba Beach Club instead of Grand Pacifica? Good question. Good question. And so I want to cover that for you. It's very important to you because the Offshore Club members come from all different backgrounds and all different lifestyles and incomes. Okay. And so what we try to do with your Offshore Club is make sure that we show you places, both homes you might want to buy, invest in as your primary home, as a vacation or second home, or just as an investment. And we show you the locales we think you'll enjoy most. So let me talk to you about the difference between two of them. I always talk about there are four kinds. Remember when we talked about this before? I call them the quaint communities. That's indigenous communities where you're buying a home in a community where the locals live. Okay. My wife and I own one in El Calan de Villanueva del Corte in Honduras, and it is just a home, beautiful home, 3-bedroom, gorgeous home, gorgeous ornamental work on the gates and walls around it and everything. Beautiful home, fruit trees in the yards, very big yards. And it's all of our neighbors are Honduran. Now I have an advantage. My wife is Honduran. Okay. And so for us, it's great. And it's like living again in small town America. Okay. And by the way, we only paid $30,000. So there are a lot of them out there for you like that, these quaint communities. Okay. Then you have what I call the cozy community, which is La Ceiba Beach Club. Okay. And what do I mean by cozy community? What's a community that is in a gated, guarded community? You don't have as many of your, like if it, let's say it's in Honduras where La Ceiba Beach Club is, Hondurans, it's mostly going to have Canadians, Americans, Israelis, Europeans. Here's the website. Okay, just to show you what I'm talking about. This is the actual LaCeibaBeachClub.com. Okay, and all right, see there, and go there. Now see the home in the middle there. Some of you are going to recall that is very much like the home I bought there. Okay, let me get it up here for you. All right. Again, that's in a gated, guarded community. Everything is taken care of for you. Right on the water. It's beachfront. It's not beach view. It's beachfront. And everything at La Ceiba Beach Club is either right on the water. That community, that cozy community, I call it, small, but it is a residential resort community that's gated, guarded, gardening's taken care of, everything is taken care of for you. And there you go. Go to LaCeibaBeachClub.com and check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about there. Okay. Now, you're not going to find a lot of stuff like a lot of stores there. You're not going to find restaurants there. Okay. Coffee shops. All right. It's residential. It's residential resort community. All right. Now, then the next step up, we're talking about the difference in the communities now. And it's what I call a Mike Cobb community, for one of the better words, just a Mike Cobb community. Grand Pacifica is always to me. Go to grandpacifica.com. See it there? Okay. You see there? Look at that. You see, it's got the horseback riding. It's got the restaurants. I mean, there's some of the residences there, some of the condos. Then you're talking about an everything community, okay? An everything community. There you do have your restaurants, you do have your coffee shops, you do have your stores, everything in the community. All right, everything in the community. A Mike Cobb community is totally comprehensive. Now, we were talking about the differences, okay? La Ceiba Beach Club, my home that I just showed you, $32,000. That's incredible. That home would cost $300,000 to $400,000 anywhere in the U.S. easily. Mike Cobb community, you're talking about homes that start. I probably can get a cozy home there for $150,000, all the way up to probably $1 million in a Mike Cobb community. Okay, but remember, you're buying into everything. It's like living the concierge life. Okay. So, and I know some of our members, that's what you're looking for. You want to be able to be totally taken care of. Okay. Is that, am I going to use it? Yeah, I'll use the word pampered. Okay. Because that's what you get at a Mike Cobb unit. It is perfection. All right. So there's the difference. Now, see there, the question was, Carter, you talk about these different kinds of communities. You're often saying La Ceiba Beach Club, where you bought, Carter, and Grand Pacifica, where you didn't buy. What's the difference? It's what you want, the lifestyle that you want provided for you. I wanted a lifestyle. I wanted a place on the ocean. I wanted it in a nice community with good people, wonderful people. I wanted gardeners. I didn't care whether it had could walk out the door to the restaurant or to the coffee shop and all. That wasn't my concern. Okay. I wanted a lower price because I'm one of these people I hate to buy. I don't own anything that I buy on time. I have 3 cars, 3 or 4 homes. I don't buy anything on time. I just don't. Okay, but there are other people say you're nuts. Grant Cardone would say you're really you're a crazy white. Okay, and I love Grant, but for those who say, either they have the 350,000, 400,000 to say, yeah, I'll take one in my Cobb community. I want every, I want everything handed to me when I walk out the door. Perfect. You cannot live better than at Grand Pacifica or Grand Bayman on Belize, another Mike Cobb community. One Mike and I talk about, it's this past Friday on Mike Cobb's offshore investment report, El Zante, Bitcoin, got to be careful there. Bitcoin Beach in El Dorado, the first ever Bitcoin community. All right, in El Salvador, rather. I'm getting all tongue tied here. In El Salvador, that one they have homes from 150 up to a million. But once again, everything will be taken care of for you. Okay. They'll shine your shoes and pick your teeth if that's what you want. That's how many services they have there. So it all depends on what you want. Okay. But it's all there. That's the key. It's all there for you offshore. All right. I hope that answers that question. I hope that was comprehensive. And if not, let me know and I'll fill it out for you a little more. Please explain the difference between the Offshore Club and the Offshore Club's Friendship Village Facebook forum. Good question. The Offshore Club, offshore.club, which I know many of you go to, and if you're one of those who watches and haven't gone to the website offshore.club, go and subscribe to the free newsletter, the Offshore Club Gazette, every single day. The Offshore Club Gazette brings you the latest offshore news, information you just love. Plus, at the Offshore Club on Mondays, you have Coffee with Carib Carter, which you're watching right now. And then you have Expat Mom with Elisa Esquivel. Incredible. On Wednesdays, you have Leslie at Large. Remember, she started last week. Great first show for her. She's in Nicaragua, plus she travels other places throughout Central America. Weekly video report podcast, just like Alyssa's is a podcast. 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20, just telling you what the real lifestyle is. I mean, on the ground reports, all right? Great shows. Thursday, the very best asset protection show on the internet, Joel Nagel's Global Wealth Fortress report. Incredible. I get the joy, the pleasure, the honor of interviewing him. And we talk about moving your money offshore, your assets offshore, banking, investment, everything you can think of. And Joel is the expert, folks. You get advice that he has clients that pay millions of dollars for it. And he gives it to you free. He's a wonderful guy, and his advice is incredible. Friday, Mike Cobb, the offshore entrepreneur. I call him the offshore oracle. His offshore investment report talks about where the smart money's going. And he should know, he and Joel own 4 or 5 resorts, building Bitcoin Beach. I got it right that time, in El Salvador. This man knows whereof he speaks when he talks about making savvy investments offshore. So at your offshore club, offshore.club, all that is there every time you visit. Now, the Friendship Village, Offshore Club's Friendship Village Facebook group, that's where you go to talk about stuff, okay? That's where at the Offshore Club, you're a member. At Friendship Village, you're a friend or neighbor, okay? You're a friend and neighbor. There you go, and you give your opinion. You ask your questions. Other expats are on there. Other nexpats, people are thinking of moving. People who are just curious about it. They're at the, it just started a couple of weeks ago, and I think it's up to over 200 friends and neighbors now. My goal is what I'm going to say. You're going to say, that's quite a reach. It's 1 million, and we'll hit it. We will hit it, and it won't take that long because it is the number one offshore discussion forum on the internet today. It's where you can go and get your offshore questions answered, specifics. And the other day, somebody said to me, well, all these discussion groups, these Facebook forums have rules. What are the rules at the Offshore Club's Friendship Village? The rule is just be a good neighbor. That's all. Just be a good neighbor. And, I'm going to be like Danny Ortega. I'm not your father. I'm not setting a bunch of rules. I guess the real rules are no rules. Just come and enjoy yourself. If you got something you think will help another friend or neighbor at Friendship Village, tell them about it. And you got something you want to sell, that's fine. That's fine. That's if it's going to help somebody with their offshore move, that's the place to do it. That Friendship Village, okay, where you're a friend or neighbor. So there you go. There you have the first 3 questions. I got 2 more I'm going to answer for you. Before we do, let's talk with Charlotte, okay? Let's talk with Charlotte. Those of you who know Charlotte, she's been on 3 or 4 times now. She is absolutely wonderful. Charlotte Tweed, editor of the at the Escape Artist, our sister organization, Escape Artist, has a lot of incredible information for you. She does a wonderful job. She's a wonderful person who does a wonderful job of helping you provide some of the information we don't get real deep into at the Offshore Club. We're very much lifestyle, okay, helping you find where to live, all right, where to live in terms of the climate you're going to like best, the country you're going to like best, the locale, even the home. That's us. They get more to the nitty gritty, the deeper stuff, some of which like Joel gets into, okay, second residency, second citizenship residency, permanent residency. And so it is a great place to go. And Charlotte is a true expert. When we first started meeting with her, you'll recall she was living in Nicaragua. Now she's living in Mexico, moved there about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So let's talk to Charlotte now and get an update on life in Mexico. So hello, Charlotte, and welcome to Coffee with Carib Carter once again. How are you?
I'm good, Carter. How about yourself?
I am well. Thank you. I am up here in the cold where it's 5 degrees, and you are down there in Mexico where it is what I assume it's more than 5 degrees.
Yeah, it's probably closer to 100.
Really? It's that
Maybe
hot?
it's a little lower than that. It's a little overcast today, and I'm okay with that. It's nice to have a little break sometimes.
100. You think it really is approaching 100? Unbelievable.
I can check. Yeah, the weather just never changes. It's a little less than that. It's 29 Celsius. Feels like 31. I'm terrible at conversion, but I know when I tell my husband, he said, no, you got that wrong. We'll say it's in the high 90s.
In the high 90s. I remember when I was in Honduras and it'd be in the winter time, right? Like right now, the middle of winter, January, and it would drop to, sometimes we get down to the low upper 80s, right? And my wife would say, amor, es muy frío. And they'd be running around with overcoats on. So what the heck? I mean, anything under 90 is wintertime as far as they're concerned, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm hot.
Oh, man. Unbelievable. So how is your, we're doing this folks, this recording on Friday afternoon. So how was your week? How was your typical week in Mexico this past week, Charlotte?
It was a little different this week, but we're trying to act as if we're living here, not vacationing, which is a totally different thing, right? So, we go out for groceries, go to the little local taco stands. There's a really neat little hole in the wall restaurant down the street from where we're staying. It's a really nice street we're on. It's quiet. I know everybody always says that Mexico is loud. We have not experienced that. It has actually been really quiet. So that's kind of a surprise. But yeah, just kind of taking it like pretending like we're living here. So
Well, let me ask you this. One of the things that I noticed, and I don't know whether Mexico shares this, when I lived in Honduras and I would go into La Ceiba, right? The city, Ceiba.
Yeah.
It was about a half an hour from where my home was. And you talked about the noise level. Every little tienda, every little shop had boombox speakers out front, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were each loud. And I felt like saying to them, do you understand that with each of you playing your boom boxes at the highest possible decibel, that nobody can hear anything? Have you experienced that there?
No, that's why I said it's really no. I've always heard that, and anything I've read, doing research, Mexico's loud. No matter where you go, it's loud. And if you tell them to turn down the music, they look at you like you're crazy. We have not experienced that where we are staying here.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. I remember years ago I was in Puerto Vallarta, and it was not noisy there at all. It was very pleasant. I ate at a beachfront restaurant, and it was very, very nice. I had remembered it from the movie Night of the Iguana. I didn't see Richard Burton or Elizabeth Taylor, unfortunately, but but I did see a lot of very nice folks, very pleasant, and a very nice atmosphere. How about the restaurants? Have you gotten to go to many restaurants now?
We've got to a few, yes. There's a really cute one about 2 blocks down the street from where we're staying. It's just, like you said, you walk by, it's wide open. And there's about 6 tables in there. So we went there our first night here. They speak very little English and we speak very little Spanish, but there's still ways to communicate. So we ordered beef on the grill is what it was. So it was a piece of beef with grilled vegetables, rice, a little salad, came with fresh hot tortillas, the salsas, and a drink we had never tried before, a cinnamon rice milk drink. I forget how to pronounce it. Hotacha. I could be a little wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
okay.
yeah. But for my husband and I to eat that meal, it came out to a conversion of $9.50 total.
Wow. For both of you.
For both of us to eat that meal.
Ample portions?
Yes. Yeah, we were good. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
We each got, with the meat and the vegetables, I think my husband got 4 tacos made out of it, and I got 3. So
that's fantastic. Oh, the price, and that's what we tell people all the time. The prices in Central and South America are just incredible.
They are
incredible. I think if you have let's say a Social Security income or some sort of residual income of $2,000 a month, you can live very, very, very well in almost any Central or South American country. What do you think?
The big price that I notice is the price in food is the really big price that I notice, like to go out and eat in restaurants. And we're not on a tourist area, so they may be a little bit more if you're in the hotel zone, but where we are, like I said, there's no way you can't even get a meal at McDonald's for $9.50 for one person back in Canada. So eating out here is possible, and in Canada we just didn't do it anymore. Right?
Well, you just can't afford to. I was in before this whole.
I find in Mexico housing is a little more. That has gone up.
Now, when you say more, you mean more than in Nicaragua?
Yeah, housing is a little bit more. Nica prices were lower, but
Like what
Oh,
would
yes. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
about
It's still reasonable compared to our standards. You know, you can get a 3-bedroom. You could get a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house unfurnished in Ixtapa for 169,000. So
total?
it's still less than what you can get. You can't buy a home like that in Canada for that price.
Oh, there's no way. There's no way. I think you find some of the deals. Mike Cobb and I were talking
No.
earlier this week. He was talking about some of the places that they're building. Oh, they just broke ground, as you know, in Belize for the new Marriott suites and all that.
Yes.
And he was saying that they're gorgeous, beautiful. And he says this at 350,000, but he said a suite like this at this kind of a location in the U.S. he said would be 10 times this much.
Oh, it
easily.
would. It would.
Easily.
And that
Yeah.
the Marriott, where that Marriott is located, it is prime.
It's prime.
Prime location. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I have not been to Belize. You know, last time I was in Belize had to be close to 15 years ago. So obviously it's changed since then. And I was on the mainland, and it's the only place where I ever went jogging and had to jump over a boa constrictor crossing the dirt road in front of me. So, but that was in the back country of the mainland. That was not on Ambergris Key, okay, where the Marriott is. So don't get scared, folks.
No, we had a crab run across in front of our golf cart when we were driving around on Ambergris Keys. So,
well, you know, when I was on Roatan, there were a lot. It was like certain times of the day, it looked like a mass crab crossing on some of the streets.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and they crackled when everybody ran over them. It was horrible. Terrifying. Now that's terrible. but folks, you know, it's the Caribbean life. It's a different lifestyle. Yeah, which reminds me of that great piece you wrote about geckos, right? Remember we talked about that. The shock of the folks, get ready for it when you move down there. The initial shock of the gecko.
Yeah.
Right?
Get lots of little geckos, and they leave behind little presents, but nothing too serious.
Yeah. I was scared of them until they told me they eat spiders and tarantulas. And I said, well, send them over.
Yeah.
Send them. Yeah.
I don't mind the bugs because they eat the bugs.
They eat the bugs. What about what do you do in your leisure time when you're new to an area? Because a lot of our people, you know, we have some Offshore Club members, and I know escape artist followers who are already living offshore, like the expats, and then we have the nexpats, I call them, those who are going to move offshore. What do you tell people who have not made their move yet? What does a person do when they're new to a country like you are now in Mexico? You don't know what lay of the land yet. What do you do for entertainment?
Oh gosh, that would really just depend for anybody what they're interested in doing. I know I'll speak more to Nicaragua. I think I haven't been here where we are in Mexico, where we're staying long enough. Actually, we're going out with dinner for friends tonight. It so happens that very close family friends of ours are staying right in Ixtapa, which is right next to where we are. Like, what are the chances? So we're going out for dinner. I love to experience the restaurants where we go out.
Yeah.
But I know in Nicaragua, people will go to movie theaters. There's a Galleria, and it's very similar to a North American mall. So if you feel like you need to kind of ease into the local culture, there are places where you can do that and get familiar that resemble North America. So you maybe don't feel so out of place. And it does help take away some of that homesickness, because we do get homesick. You do. I have to be honest. It's hard being away from family.
Yeah.
It's hard. But when you go to those places, you can go to a movie. You can go out for dinner. There's go for local food tours or local drink tours, coffee tours, that type of thing. I mean, those are the types of things we like to do, and it gives you a good taste for the area too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I used to like to go when I lived in Honduras. I love to go, as you say, to the mall. One thing I think you find, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but a mall is a mall is a mall. I mean, the malls in Honduras looked exactly like the malls in York, Pennsylvania, or back when I lived in Westminster, Maryland. A mall's a mall. It's like Gertrude Stein said, a rose is a rose. And so you're right. I mean, talk about easy
Mhm.
acclimation. You're inside when you're inside the mall, I
Mhm.
swear to God, there was just no difference. Yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
then the movies, of course, movies are in Spanish, so and they did not have. So I don't know if how it was in Nicaragua, but they did not have subtitles, English subtitles on the movies in the in Honduras. I can tell you that.
You can start to learn the language then.
Yes, you have to learn the language.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's funny with learning the languages. I find I can read and figure out the words from reading, but when someone talks to me, I have no idea what you're saying. With my husband, it's the opposite. He can't read any of it, but when someone says something to him, he can understand it. So we complement each other very well that way. If someone's talking to me and they're asking me a question, I'm looking at them puzzled. He'll go, "They want you to do this." I'm like, "Oh, okay." It's funny.
it's very funny because with me, I'm like you. I can talk in Spanish. Believe it or not, I can talk in Spanish and I know what I'm saying. And the people that I'm talking to just speak Spanish, you know what I'm saying? But when they answer, I can't understand a word they're saying. I can't. Now, my wife, I can. And you know what I think it is? You learn people's cadence.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So, folks, that's something
Mhm.
to look forward to. As you get to know
Mhm.
people, you'll suddenly realize you can understand people that you get to know. Well, you're
Yes.
still not really understanding the stranger on the street that says something that sounds like Ricky Ricardo to you. You know, you just say,
Mhm.
I don't know what
Mhm.
that is. Yeah, yeah, it's just amazing. It is just amazing. And you know, something else that I think people are going to find. The other night, I was sitting in the living room. My wife was talking a mile a minute in Spanish on the phone, right? I mean, just on and on and on and on. You know, like I said, it was like Ricky Ricardo in the other room, and then she walked in and said, took her phone and went like this. I said, Amor, dice hola a my sister, right? And it was FaceTime. And I swear to God, there really is not that much separation now. Her sister
Mm.
was on the phone talking to her in real time. You could see her, and they had
Mhm.
been talking for half an hour. So, folks,
Mhm.
you're not, do you agree with that? You're not, it's not like the old days when you went away and never
No.
saw anybody again.
No, like we face, well, not FaceTime, I guess I have a Zoom call my with our son every week. And if we didn't have that, it would be challenging. I FaceTime with my brother all the time. You know, that makes it that much easier to
Yeah.
actually see their face rather than just talking on the phone. And you can do it really for zero charge or no charge now. You know, long distance
Yeah.
rates used to be astronomical, but there's options now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And she talks on WhatsApp, so doesn't cost her or her sister a penny.
yeah,
It's just
that's right.
wonderful. It's just
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, I know you have a lot of things to do, but I want to talk a little bit about before we go. What's the
Mhm.
latest coming from Escape Artist now? What's in the off?
Well, the next edition of Escape Artist Insider comes out February 1st. Our theme this month is taking your business offshore with a digital nomad focus. So I know, we get questions from readers going, what if I want to start a business offshore? Or what can I do? What's it like being a digital nomad? So those are the main topics that we'll cover. We always also cover cryptocurrencies, precious metals, offshore banking. Like I said, we have articles written by real estate developers that have been developing real estate for decades in Central America. And
Fantastic.
yeah, it'll be a great, and I have some guest writers this month as well that are going to speak to their digital nomad experience. So I'm excited to read their articles.
That's excellent. You know, we interviewed, Joel Nagel, who's America's #1 offshore protection attorney and a real authority on offshore, moving your money offshore and what to do with it there. We interviewed, he has a show every week called Global Wealth Fortress Report. And he went into some of this past week. Folks, you can find it at offshore.club, and make sure and grab it up and give it to your people there now the name just went right through my mind, right in the middle of talking to you, with your folks, right? Because one thing he talked about that was just fascinating.
Escape artist.
What'd you say? Escape
Yes.
artist. What the heck's wrong with me? But one thing he talked about, it's just fascinating. You talk working remote.
There we go.
What'd you say? There we go. Is your first $109,000 you make is not taxed. So if you work remote in, let's say, Mexico or Nicaragua, that's like a $30,000 more in your paycheck. It's incredible.
Wow. Yeah. And Joel writes a monthly column for us as well. So
yeah. And it's just great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to look forward to that. And folks, go to Escape Artist, subscribe. Charlotte is the editor of the magazine, does an incredible job. It's a great magazine. Subscribe to it because it is the best international magazine in the world. Okay, it really is, and I say that sincerely. And
it's everything you need to go offshore.
Everything you need to go offshore in one magazine, and it's comes to you every month. What, the second or third week of the month you get it? And
first of the month.
The first of the month.
The first of the month.
So you got it all month long. All right, so you can read it all month. And Charlotte has articles in it, and you are a great writer. I love your stuff.
Well,
so thank you. And thank you for joining us today. It's great to see you again.
All right. Thank you, Carter.
Be glad you're there and not here. It's freezing.
I am warm. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Charlotte. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow. Charlotte is always delightful. She is always delightful, always informative, always a tremendous help. Go to escapeartist.com. Join up there. Subscribe to the magazine because it's a great magazine, monthly magazine. I think at the regular cost is $100 a month right now. You can get it, I think for like a third off. Okay, so jump on it because it's real. When I said it's the best magazine in the marketplace, the offshore marketplace, it's really true. So take advantage of that. It's always a pleasure for us to talk with Charlotte. Well, what a great person. All right, let's go back to the questions. Then we're going to do our 2 more questions. Then we're going to go straight to the Ecuador property that I think you're going to fall in love with. So stand by. But let's get 2 more questions, and that's all we have time for. And I'll try and make my answers a little shorter than I've been answering. Carter, do you expect the situation in Honduras to improve now that they have a new president? In a word, yes, I do. I don't think you could get worse than Juan Orlando. I'm sorry. I didn't talk a lot about it, when he was in office because it's their president. And I don't have a right to do that. But I own 2 homes there, and I am thrilled with Xiomara. Xiomara Castro is the president now. She immediately said we are reopening our schools. Thank God. Praise the Lord for that woman. To take away those little children's education for 2 years when the chance of them getting sick was almost zero I'm going to say monstrous. I'm sorry, but I am. And she said, enough. We're not doing this to our children anymore. And remember, those children are poor. They have no remote learning. They had no computers. For them, it was total deprivation. But thank God it's over. Their schools are reopening. Their lives are getting back to normal. She's stepping up and saying, we want our freedom in Honduras. And I'm I'm pleased with her. Could I end up being disappointed? Anything can happen. But right now, I like what she said when she was campaigning. I think, when I saw her poll numbers getting up to 70% ahead, I knew that the people of Honduras were finally saying that their day of jubilation had come. And so, yeah, my short answer to you on that is I'm very pleased. Okay. I think she has the potential, very much so, to be another Daniel Ortega. And listen, in the early 80s, nobody fought against Ortega harder than I did. I worked directly with Ronald Reagan, with the Contras, when he first took over. And in hindsight, I have to say that man deserves a lot of credit for what he pulled that country out of under that evil tyrant Somoza. And the fact that now it's the safest country in Central America. The people live well. You don't see a lot of Nicaraguan refugees flooding across the border. And so I really, I think all she has to do is look to Daniel Ortega. He's a man who allows free enterprise. You can start a business there much easier than in the U.S. Much, much easier than in the U.S. Okay. You want to start a business, in honest to God, folks, if you want to start a business, go to Central America. Don't try it here. The other day I was talking to somebody who wanted to open a restaurant, but they said we decided not to because a liquor license in Pennsylvania now is $600,000. That's graft. That's corruption. That's bashing small business, because the big chains don't have a problem with that, do they? Don't forget that during the whole COVID hoax, the big box stores made the highest profits they've ever made, and the poor little hardware stores were driven out of business. So you want to be free to start a business. You want to be an entrepreneur. Look to Nicaragua, and I think look to Honduras under Xiomara. Look to El Salvador, where Bitcoin's legal tender now, and those are now the lands of opportunity. They really are. They really are. They really are. And that brings me to a final question. What do I see as the future south of the border in these Central American countries? Let me take a sip here. I'm hoarse because I have a little bit of a winter flu. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I say this in the spirit of hope. I think you're going to see a population inversion. Okay, I'm just telling you. And the good part is that the people who are heading south are the kind of people who built America and made it great. Okay, the working people, the people who want freedom, the people who don't want government to give them everything, hand them everything, the entrepreneurs, okay, the individualists. I said, it's so funny. I said to Mike Cobb, had to be almost 15 years ago. I said, one day, the angriest people in the world are going to be the children of illegal aliens crossing the border into the United States, because they're going to look back to the Central American countries, and I feel more strongly than ever about this. They're going to see the building going on down there, the factories being built, the industry being started up, the freedom, the free enterprise, okay? The feeling of opportunity and hope, and the feeling of daring do and accomplishment, all those things we used to have here and have been flattened. And that's the curve that Fauci flattened. All these children of illegal aliens coming up here now are going to look at their parents and say, what were you thinking of? You brought us up here where you can't do anything without a government permits, government licenses, government fees, government assessments, massive, massive taxes, government watching every move you make. And all these people who lived here and left and moved down to where we used to be in Central and South America, they're living the good life at a great price now. They have built the Latin American dream, folks. That's where I see it going. Could I be wrong? Wouldn't be the first time I've ever been wrong. But I don't think so. I don't think so. The governments in those countries they're not there staying. You know, I always tell you, we've reached a point in this country when the people come from government, they come with the thumbs down and the palm out, right? Think about it. Think about it. You need help from the government in this country, you either get the back of their head or the back of their hand. Think about it. Not that way in Central and South America. Are they going to give you a whole bunch of money to do everything? No, 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 thank God. But they are going to say to each his own. If you can make it, go for it. We're not holding you back. And boy, for real Americans, that's all we need to hear, isn't it? We're bootstrap people. And what you're going to see, the people moving, and this includes some of you right now. It includes some of you and all of you in the Offshore Club. You are the pilgrims of old that came to the New World. You are the pioneers that opened up the West. You are now opening up the new frontier south of the border. And that's the future I see. That's the future I see. Okay. I hope that answers that question. And we're running long here, so I'm going to get to go quick on the one of the places where you can get that opportunity. And that's at this week's $1,000 listing Caribbean. Okay. $1,000 listing Caribbean. Here it is. Here it is. And as you know, this one's from Vivian. I always tell you, check Vivian. Check Vivian on a daily basis, at least a weekly basis. Okay. See there, Vivian.com. I like this home. I like it a lot. Condo for sale in Jama, Manabi, Ecuador. Okay. And I'm going to rush a little bit now because we've got to. Fabulous ocean, mountain, jungle views located just south of the equator. It's right on the ocean, folks, right in the ocean. It's two bedroom condo, bath and a half, 1,000 square feet, plenty of room, gated, guarded community. It's a cozy community, okay, but right outside the gates are all the amenities, all the stores, restaurants, nearby surfing at Costa Jama Beach. Let's look at our map here. Let's look at our map because then you know. Here we go. Okay. Here you see it right up here. Seeing the orange there? That's where I'm talking about. You can see it's in Ecuador. Ecuador is a very peaceful country, very safe country, low prices. You can live for about quarter to a third on what you live on here. Where the orange is where we're talking about here now, folks. That's the long view. Here's a little bit medium shot view, as if we're in movies now, okay? Pretty nice, huh? Pretty darn nice. Is that gorgeous? Look at that. That's your view. That's your view at this condo. The condo itself, nothing elaborate, but very nice. Very nice, okay? You look out your windows, you're going to see the view you just saw or the mountains. Here's from your own terrace right here. Look at that. Look at that. This is gorgeous, folks. This is absolutely beautiful. Inside, I love show and tell. The living room, very nicely built, very nicely kept up. Okay? I sound like a realtor, don't I? I should be working for Berkshire Hathaway. I don't get any money out of this, folks. You go to Vivian, you make your deal there. The bedroom. Okay, once again, very nice. Notice split duct air conditioning. Every room has air conditioning because don't forget you're right near the equator. Okay, and especially for those of you who are into the kitchen scene, beautifully done. Look at that. Very ample cabin space, very big eat-in kitchen. All of that, folks. Natural tiles throughout. 30 by 10 private covered patio. That's what you saw there. And keep in mind, folks, when you make your move to Central or South America, always include, when you're thinking about square footage, the patio or veranda and such, because 90% of your time you're outside. It's almost a situation where you only sleep inside. Okay. You know, it's not like up here where I am now in York, Pennsylvania, where it's so cold, you're 90% inside your house. No, down there, you're outside all the time. So, you know, I was laughing with Mike Cobb saying that when when we were doing the offshore investment report, that when I first moved to a little town, it was a quaint community called Vista Bonita in Honduras, and I noticed a lot of people had living room furniture on their veranda, and I thought, geez, what a weird thing. And then I realized it wasn't, because it's eternal summer and spring down there, and they lived outdoors. They would have their TV, everything right out there, and it was eventually moved mine out, and it was, why be trapped inside when you can be outside in beautiful weather? So that's what you have down there. This has the laundry room, everything you could want. You ready for the price? You ready for the price? So if you go to, first of all, go to Vivian. Here's the, see up here in the corner, write down that number. All you have to do is go to the little box up in the right-hand corner at vivian.com, type in that 279519. It's going to take you straight to this property. Lots more pictures than I showed you. See there? Look at that. It's just fantastic, isn't it? Isn't it? What a great service. Total price. Total price. You ready? This home in the U.S., located with as near to the beach this is, the mountain view, everything would probably cost you $500,000-$600,000, $124,000 negotiable. So negotiate it down to 110. Okay, all from 100. You know, you have nothing to lose. You can always go up. You know, so that's it. It's an incredible price. That home with that kind of locale in that beautiful area down there would cost you 4 or 5 times as much in the U.S. And let's say you do some finance and pay taxes, your payments would be less than than you'd pay on taxes up here a month. So you can't lose. You can't lose. Check that out, vivian.com, vivian.com. And that brings us to our final segment, the Carib Carter Motivation Minute, because I really do want you to check it out. Okay, I do want you to check it out, and I want you to check out this very quick, only about a minute or so message from Joe Rogan. I'm a tremendous admirer of his. I don't always agree with him, but he's got the guts to say what he believes. And when they come after him, they pretty quickly learn this guy ain't no piker when it comes to fighting back. Okay, so the message he's going to give you here is be the hero of your own movie. Okay, I want you to be the hero of your own life. All right, so take a watch of this for a second.
Be the hero of your own movie. If your life was a movie and it started now, forget about whatever financial disasters you've had, personal failures, relationship failures. What would the hero of your life's movie do right now? Do that. Do those things. We define ourselves far too often by our past failures. We look at our past and we say, well, that's me. That's not you. You are this person right now. You're the person who's learned from those failures, and you can choose to be the hero of your own movie right now. Write down your goals. Write down things you want to improve. Write down things you won't tolerate from yourself. Write down things that you've done in the past that you never want to see yourself do again. And go forth from here as the hero of your own movie. Build momentum. Build confidence and momentum with each good decision that you make from here on out. You can do it. Anyone can do it. We live in unique times. We live in one of the rarest times in human history where you can choose almost all the input that comes your way. Whether it's the movies that you watch, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, you can choose to be inspired. Do that. Do that and be the hero of your own movie.
Is that great? I gotta love the guy. I gotta love the guy. Be your own hero, folks. Be your own hero. It's your life. Live it to its fullest. Make your move offshore to the good life at a great price, and the sun, the sand, and the surf, because you've earned it. You deserve it. And it's just waiting for you to grab it and go. So let's do this thing.